2002 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD. This is the diagnostic trouble cause we have 2002 HD 6.6 the LB7, 280,000 miles on it. The other day I just pulled the cause and I wanted to start preparing my whole material for troubleshooting this vehicle. So that day I did this. I pulled out all these codes, and also I confirmed the customer concern after I cleared the codes. And yes, indeed it did have a lack of power, and at the same time I had the code came back. That code came back, but he's been driving that one for more than a week now. So we're gonna be attacking that code for the fuel rail pressure sensor or the fuel pressure, whatever, and also exhaust gas recirculation. So that's another one, and EVC motor relay. So in this case, I think we're gonna have well, 3 systems different. So I told the customer about the mass airflow sensor because I have those 2 codes, and I asked the customer, and he told me the what happened is, he said someone told him to replace the engine air filter, and he did so with low quality filter, and the ignition was on, so probably those were set during that time. So I told him to replace it with good quality. We cleared the codes and light came back. So now we're gonna go and recheck what we have right now and start the troubleshooting process on it. Well, what I wanted to recheck here is something. The code menu displays all powertrain codes, mass airflow sensor circuit auto range. If we see here, they have in 259 repairs history, the mass airflow sensor is being the number 1 to cause that code. So basically we gotta check powers and ground to that one too, signal, whatever. Okay, but the second is the exhaust gas recirculation. Remember the last time we had this code for EGR circuit law. So at this point, I don't know if they are related, because the primary use for the mass airflow sensor on a diesel is for EGR flow testing purpose. So are they related? Is one causing the problem to the other one? So let's see the other code here for the common repairs. For this code, P1093, fuel pressure low while power enrichment. Well, the number 1 for that one is being, according to here, is being a fuel filter. The customer already installed a fuel filter, and this is the ACDelco original fuel filter, and water in fuel sensor, and third one is the mass airflow sensor. So we're gonna proceed with the testing on this one. Let me go here and go to free frame data. Let me see what happened when some of those codes appears on free frame data. I hope we have something here like it will help us. So in this case, let me check here free frame data for the mass airflow sensor. Okay, gonna see what happened with that one. This is the code P0101. Mass airflow sensor is showing at 33 gram per second, which is not bad for this diesel idle. Vehicle wasn't moving. It had a normal temperature. Do I have a mass airflow sensor voltage speed? Because this one could be a problem where will be a default for the computer. Do I have voltage? No, I don't see voltage. 46 miles after we clear the code, that one appears. So it's something like not very common. Well, like it's not heart failure. So probably we'll check the wiring and wiggle test, that kind of stuff, and find out if what's going on there. Okay, so let me check on the other code for the fuel rail pressure sensor. the freeze frame data. So I hope we have a good data here. Let's find out. Okay, so we can see here, this is the code, the troubleshoot code. This is the code. And mass airflow sensor, vehicle 61 miles per hour, was warm, ignition. So we're looking for actual in this and desired fuel pressure. Desired fuel pressure 150 megapascal, and it had 92. So basically that's why it set the code. So that what happened at that moment. Is that gonna be the sensor, the fuel rail pressure sensor, or is that gonna be a real low fuel pressure at the high pressure pump? When that happens, we gotta make sure the low side got no restriction, is fitting properly. So let me see, we're gonna start doing more testing into this and find out what else we can do. And then I have here 3 channels for the fuel rail pressure sensor, power, ground, and signal. And at the same time, I will be monitoring the mass airflow sensor signal and scan data at the same time. Gotta go for a road test now. Here I have the data selected related to the issue we're having here, and same time I will at this point monitor scan data and record that one. And I also have the scope here, so we're gonna do both. I'm gonna go and duplicate the condition, and I will get back after I get to a place where we can analyze the data I'm getting. Duplicated customer concern, both, checking light on, and we see here when I accelerate, we'll see what happened here, the actual and the desired of the fuel pressure. And we can see there on the scope too, on the blue. Gonna analyze that one. Yeah, I released. See what happened? As soon as I release, the pressure goes up. If I go little by little, I think it. See, released. Boom. Actual desired match here. You see, I accelerate hard. Get a lack of power. Boom. Right here. You see the MAF sensor? The one is on yellow. That is telling me I'm keeping on my foot on the floor. See the mass airflow sensor staying on the top, but my pressure is dropping. Is that an actual pressure dropping under load, or is that gonna be sensor failures? To report the correct amount of fuel, right there, get the lack of power. So this is what I have here. I disconnected the hose here for the turbo, and inside right there, you see, where is it? Hard to see it. Right there is a restriction there. You see how kinky that hose? And I have other hoses kink, like this one here, and that one there too. So the customer said, because I was questioning the customer later, he replaced this the fuel filter housing, and he bought it online, and this is directing to a different point. The other one was going that direction, and this one is coming down. So he replaced the hoses because of that reason, and the lack of power appears after that. However, what caught my attention is on my road test is during I was driving on the road, I found, well, at the very beginning I had no issues until like the vehicle started warming up, and I was pressing hard, checking my scan data, and at the same time I was watching my scope, and everything was fine, to the point like I got lack of power, and I find out like actual and desired pressure didn't match. However, I was thinking, okay, So why at the very beginning, if I have some restriction, is that gonna be some electronic device? But my pressure sensor was reading correctly, you know, because if I accelerated slow, I keep accelerating slow, it was reading correctly, release. But if I do a wide open throttle, it was dropping immediately. So we gotta have some issues on the vehicle is reporting correctly. And temperature too, that was another one. So at this point I will be replacing these hoses, and then I will be rechecking and see if that one fixed it or not. Running, I created a big loop, so that way they don't think that the dealer said this part is updated. So we need to get some hoses like this. So that's what I did. I just got different hoses, few hoses, because see the one they had on it were like see what it say here? Heater hoses. So that was the problem. Well, I'm gonna be checking here the output control. So I wanted to command the fuel pressure regulator to increase the pressure and see if we can build the pressure in the system. At this point I have this gauge here, vacuum and pressure gauge. So I am connected to the suction side of the high pressure pump. So I wanted to see if the high pressure pump has the ability to pull the fuel, or if we have restriction air. We're gonna define that one. Let me change this list here because we wanted to see anything related only to the pressure. Pretty much I wanted to see how much pressure we can desire in actual fuel pressure, and that's basically what really matters at this point, because I only wanted to see if desire is basically, you know, like what the computer wanted. Are we able to do it what the computer is asking for? That's what we wanted to see. So I'll graph those two. We can see here, this is the desire here. No, oh, sorry, it's not that one, in megapascal right here. So this is the actual and this is the desire. Okay, so now I'm gonna start increasing here the pressure, and we see here the computer is desire 50, we are following. Okay, so we're able to build the pressure. See, I think what happened is when we're driving on the road, some type of control of the system is bleeding down the pressure, either injector or pressure relief valve or something like that. So this one is a little bit high. I don't like it too much, that one, because it seems to me like a tank of vacuum. It's high, but we're gonna know that one when we road test this one on the road. We're gonna know the reality of this. So I'm gonna road test the vehicle now and duplicate the customer concern. Here we can see I restored the line, but it's still I'm looking at 25. And what happened is this, look at here, my checking in light came on. Ignore the cooling level, so that one is part of but look at my pressures actually in desire. What happened? Fault is present right now. Well, we got the gauge here. I restored the system again. That's the way it should be. So here is the shredder valve port for testing beside the alternator here on this GM after the fuel filter. And I restore everything here. We can see I got that bracket there and the other bracket down here, but this hose seems to be soft to me. We're gonna start the vehicle, run it again, and find out if I restore the low side feedback to the pump. Well, on this truck they updated because they were having issues, he said, so they updated the system to this type of filters. But as it is right now, what I told him is I needed to restore this thing at the manufacturer side. I know these are good. These are good stuff. No, I got no question about it. But I wanted to restore and find out if my high pressure pump was able to suction the fuel correctly or restriction. So that's what I'm looking for. So I'm starting here to check up my lines, all my rubber lines, like right there. All this junction here, normally where we're looking at. So I got no restriction here, no problems. So I keep following the lines here to where you have rubber lines. Right here we have other rubber lines. See, I find here, good, no problems, no problems. Okay, keep following the fuel lines, and I found something already here. See what happened here. See what happened here. So it looks like they replaced the transmission. You see that bracket there? It should go right there in that hole. You see this one here? That one should go here too. Let me see. That one. Let me see. Can I focus? Right here. That one should go right here. So this fuel line is, you see how they put it here on that one here? So they should be different brackets. They didn't put it back together. So following here, I can see a restriction way up there. There is a restriction up there. I saw that the line is pinched up there. So maybe, I don't know if the camera is gonna be capable of showing that up, but I can see it here. Let me set up here this. Right there is pinched my line. I don't know if the camera will pick up that one, but I can see it with my eye. So right there is bended. Let's go up there and see, find out. So right here I can see there are some marks here. You see where I am here. So right here I can see, look at there are two marks there, like a bracket was there, and here is my restriction. I can see from down there, right here, this is bended here, all bended here on the bottom. So let me try to restore this, get the bracket, talk to the customer, restore this, retest, and find out if we restore the normal operation of the suction side, the feed to the high pressure pump.